Great, thank you, Alex. As Alex indicated, my name is Steve McElderry. I'm with Cisco, and I'm a product line manager. So as opposed to being on the marketing side, I'm actually on the side that creates the products within Cisco that are used for, amongst other things, interacting through social media. We have a customer care portfolio of products that we sell to large enterprises, service providers, small businesses, and they're used for managing their relationships with their customers. So from call centers and contact centers to email and web collaboration, but also social media. And it's all done with one platform. But this really isn't a product pitch, because what I will be talking about is how Cisco uses social media for marketing purposes, and then I'll tie that back to some of the technology. We're certainly using all the technology and all the social media that we've talked about today, from YouTube and Facebook and Flickr and Twitter and our own forums. We have a very active community of forums that we use for support purposes and to engage our customers in very technical discussions. But probably what's was most insightful in terms of looking at how we're using some of this technology. A lot of our products are complex and very technical, but one of the things that we've done which makes them much more accessible is using YouTube. And one example of that is a video that we did called The Future of Shopping. We listed here at 1.6 million views just over the last couple months. It's up over 4 million views right now. And it's really something that the average consumer who doesn't know anything about routers and IP technology and all that can really take a look at and understand how this technology is actually going to be applied for, in this case, enhancing their shopping experience. So if you want to get some insight into, well, what Cisco's all about, don't look at all our data sheets and our website. Just go to YouTube and check out this video, and you'll get a sense. Charlene Lee, the founder of Altimeter Group, a market research firm, drew a conclusion that companies that are deeply engaged in social media grew revenues by 18% over last year. So a correlation there. I don't know if there's a causal effect, but certainly there is a correlation between investing in your brand through social media and the result in profitability of the company. But turning inward now and looking at Cisco, this axis, a little tough to read from the back perhaps, represents time from 2006 through 2010, so a little over a 3-year period. And what it's depicting is the change in how we use various media. From back in 2006, the larger portions, the larger curves, really represent more traditional media, like press releases, static information on our website and such. And the big blue curve that you see expanding over time, as well as the green curve below it, really represent things like blogs and video blogs. So what this is meant to convey is that over time, we've really moved to new media types for how we communicate externally. We still use traditional press releases and such, but more and more, a greater percentage of our communications outward are really using techniques that, number one, result in increased traffic, but also significantly lower spend. We're able to do this much more cost effectively than if we produced a $50,000 video that was purposely created for one particular use. Here's another view with respect to mentions of Cisco by media type, and this is over a shorter interval earlier this year, from the beginning of March through to approximately the end of May. And what you see is that the light blue area near the top of the curve, it represents micromedia, like specifically Twitter, and the fact that I guess it's as much an indication that Twitter is taking off as it is that it's used as a vehicle, or Cisco in particular was represented in that particular media type. But it's I think, really indicative of the fact that you really need to listen to these channels like Twitter, the other social media, as we've heard throughout the day, to really gain some insight into what people are saying about your brand, what people are saying about your products and your competitors.